Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Pyro Zig again. I'm just doing a follow-up video on my motor racks and exactly what I built. You've seen the fan racks that I built over here. I've actually started fusing them up last night because I'm getting them ready for a show on Labor Day weekend. I won't be here for like 2 weeks. So I'm actually waiting for tubes to come in for these, the center rack on this one. It's already been used. It's everything I make right here. I decided on basically the dual shot, and if I could demonstrate possibly in this video as well. Well, seeing these things, very heavy duty, lag bolts in the bottom. You got carriage bolts with wing nuts and washers on the top, holding them together. And you can see how I've left a little room for the HDPE tubes to slide in. You can slide in a whole row of 12 in this. And everything's pre-drilled or drilled out. I mean, obviously you're not going to put a carriage bolt through there with like a screwdriver gun or anything. Even jackhammer maybe. But yeah, I got heavy-duty carriage bolts, 3.5 inches long down here, holding them together, and it makes it to where the whole thing pivots. And set up like it is right now in the V pattern. You put two together and you have like a W. And that's kind of what I was going to show you right now. If I could. Now, see, you got them both standing up. And you kind of got a conflict between the right and the left, and shells possibly colliding. So how we get that problem solved. I'll move this single rack over here and I'll explain more in a minute. Should have had this all set up, but to avoid the conflict, I'm going to see if I can do this, but I got these pretty tight. That gives you an idea. And we'll move this one right next to it. And then you'll understand the reason why I have them so tight. Wow, that was really tight. There we go. So, basically, I can show this. Maybe I might. Oh boy. It's too early for me. I've been up half the night. Let's see if I can get a good angle on this. Okay, conflict solved. I just turned those two racks into a slight fan rack, and you could go to a further degree with it even. And you have one going sloped off to the right, two going straight up, one sloped off to the left. That's the reason why I designed these racks like this. And or I could just go in a V pattern like that, or I could stack this single one in front of these two and have it wired, fused straight down the tops of all the tubes, going down the tops of the tubes going into here. Varying fusing. This one's going to be a slow, kind of off pace. It's going to be very slow. It's going to, because I have cakes going in with it. So it's going to be kind of like the backdrop, the big guns going off with the little guns. And so I've got this one's going to be going off. This one's going to be going off. This one's going to be going off. That one's going to be going off. And fairly a quick fashion, but I left the entire fuse instead of going across the top. So they give a couple seconds in between each shot going off. And that's actually green Visco that I used in here to make this, each one of these last a bit longer. Because I have about 4 cakes per mortar rack, and these are ball shells. Peanut shells, 2 breaks, and single break shells. All 3 of these. You really can't see those ones. I always cover it over after, especially it's going to be sitting here for a couple weeks. I don't want anything getting inside there or accidentally falling inside. So that's kind of like a little safety tip. And these ones I'll probably wire in a fan going back and forth across from right to left in this video. And of course you gotta pretend that there's more mortar racks in the middle. It's gonna look more like this one over here. And of course I got my aluminum candle racks, XL aluminum candle racks. So you can see, I'll kind of demonstrate real quick. So I'm going to come from here, over to this one, over to this one, over to this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, so on and so forth. But I'm going to use probably pink fuse, combined with some green Visco to give a delay in between each pour going off. A short delay, not a long delay. And then it's gonna go more rapid towards the end, and as a finale. And I do have other racks that are gonna be filled. These ones will all be filled. But after demonstrating that, these will also be soon available at Red Apple Fireworks. All these. So if you know how to construct stuff, I'll be getting rid of stuff like that, which I've been using this one a long time. A little milk crate. I might actually use it in this show too. I've gone through everything. It's all safe still. Everything's snug in place. But if something wants to, see, there's no give to those. I mean, there's a little bit, but there's no give to those, so it's kind of, they're wedged into place, because a lot of times if they're sitting too loose, you don't want them too tight, but you don't want them too loose. If you're sitting too loose, a shell will go off and it'll literally launch the tube right out of the rack, and it'll cause the other tubes to slope or even fall over, even in a milk crate. That's why I don't really recommend the milk crate, because milk crates actually have a bounce back effect, a trampoline effect, where they have slight. I actually got milk crates everywhere, so because I use them for blocks of wood, stuff like that. Don't mind that. But on the milk crate, you can see. No, that's not my work hammer. It's my geology hammer. There's about a 1/4 inch drop between this mesh here and the actual edge of the box. So you gotta think when that, because that's a lot of inertia being put out by the shell when it literally pushes this down and creates a trampoline and pops the shell up, the tube up. So the impact causes the tube to fly out of the box, which could cause some problems, especially if it does it with a tube that hasn't gone off yet. Even though you got everything, especially you got everything wired up, doesn't matter what, you're not going to be able to go run over there and fix it. You're just going to have to let it play out and find a safe zone. But whoa, get my finger out of there. Okay, the infamous pyro. Whoa, get. And see, just kind of popped up on my screen here. And I know you had a question for me earlier. And I'll just kind of go over this one right here. This is one I'm going to go test out. It's a single rack, 12-shot rack. I'm going to be making all kinds of different varieties for red apple. These are just some of them, some of the concepts. This is another one. But Infamous Pyro, you asked me about the screws across the bottom. And the ones you made, you only have 2 screws. I'm not really sure where you situated them. But everything's always about safety. And that always being paramount when building just about anything related to fireworks. Especially with heavy canister shells, ball shells, whatnot, any firework, honestly. So this one you can see is, kind of got a chew mark there, split out of it right there. This is just kind of a demo model. But you can see across the bottom from 2x3, end of 2x3 to 2x3. And you can see it's a 2x3 over here and a 2x3 over here. Now for those of you that can make these things on your own, I got 2 2-inch screws going upright. It's not going too terribly far, but it's holding it in place. Or 2.5-inch screws, sorry. And then, holding it in place there. Both sides. And then I have 2 2-inch screws there, holding that board into place. Then across the top, everything's been pre-drilled, like I said before in the previous video. Everything's been pre-drilled, and I got 1 5/8 screws, or you can use 1 3/4 or 1 5/8. Either's good. We got 3 here on the top and 3 on the other end, so right and left. Then we have 1 at the base of the upright on the top of the bottom board. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the reason why we're doing this is because, say you want to use quick fuse all 12. Doesn't matter if you have 6 in a rack, 10, 12, 18, whatever, however many you have in the racks that you're building. You should always think about the safety of the product. You got to make sure that sucker's not going to fly apart. What you're firing in the guns that you put in this thing are basically high impact fireworks. So not only do they make a big boom in the air, but they make a big boom on the ground. And that's why we make these things so tough. Not only for transportation, taking them from point A to point B, but because we gotta make sure the safety of ourselves while playing with the fireworks or launching the fireworks, and the safety of the others around us. The spectators, so to speak, are safe as well. But an idea of Doug. He wants to see if we can put a panel on the inside so we can put some graphics on them. And you can see on the foot pedestal that I made on this single rack, it's 12 inches wide. And I got 4 screws, also pre-drilled, and it's going into the 1x4 on the side, and the 1x4 on the other side, plus 2 in the 2x3. And actually, I was gonna put one, I don't know why I didn't, on the 2x3 on the bottom, through the 2x3 on the bottom. So I even overlooked something. So it's all about safety. You will be seeing these definitely next year at Red Apple. You're gonna have to come pick them up, unless you're having deliveries of pallet loads of fireworks. We could probably add them in there to it. I can't give you quite a price or quote on them, but they're not going to be using fiberglass tubing. They're going to be using professional grade HDPE tubing. This is what you'll generally find in a lot of the shows, all the way up to about 4 inch. when you start going into extra heavy reinforced fiberglass tubing that's not like the typical tubing you get, like those, or like those poor man's racks I got up there. It's a totally different grade fiberglass, and that's more for the commercial pyrotechnics, and that's basically what they'll use when they're using smaller stuff is the HDPE, because it can be used over and over and over and over and over again, whereas eventually the fiberglass tubes are going to blow out and they're going to cause a low break or they could, fiberglass tubes can only be used so long before you have to just basically throw them in the trash. And those ones have been used quite a few times. This will probably be the last time all those tubes will go. So, I mean, that's my video. I've got rockets, all kinds of stuff going on today. I go back to work tomorrow for 2 weeks. I'll be away. And I'm trying to get this show set while I go run that show, for those shows. We're in California. And, well, I hope you enjoy the video. But definitely, when you're building something on your own, if you're not buying it, or if you're going out there and you're buying it, make sure what you're buying is looks safe to operate. Because I know some of the stuff I've seen in the past has, been unsafe. I bought stuff that's unsafe and had, extra wherewithal to put, 15 round racks. Was it 15 or 16? In a milk crate. I might have been straight up 24 round racks. I can't remember what, but I had 2 racks sitting side by side and they blew out. And if I didn't have it in that milk crate's a little different than the other ones I was pointing out too, by the way. If I didn't have it in that milk crate, it would have been disastrous. I would have had rounds flying all over the place. But another point is, if you are going to use a milk crate, you can't see it at the bottom there. I ain't going to pick it up right now. It's actually fairly light. But I have a wood panel in the bottom of that milk crate, and underneath the milk crate I have another wood panel, and I have both of them screwed together to take out the hop of the trampoline effect in a milk crate while using tubes. So you can actually use a milk crate. You just got to think how to make it safe, and that's kind of what I do. It's the first thing they teach you in pyrotechnics is how to operate safe shows, or how to operate fireworks safely. And I just kind of have one of them minds that, and I know a lot of you guys out there too have the same ideas. You can do it. It just takes a little trial and error sometimes. Sometimes you can just put it right together, and once you start getting good at it, you can do it every time. But that's my video, my I guess update on my racks. Sorry, Insane Pyro, for taking so dang long, but shoot, I'm at just short of 20 minutes, and it's about normal for me, I guess, because I can't quit running on at the mouth. But yeah, got a big show coming up. You're gonna be out Labor Day weekend in Prompt. I'm planning on Saturday going to the launch pad and basically putting on a free show if you want to come by. I'll be there, possibly Jeremy from Red Apple, and I don't know, maybe Doug might make a special guest appearance. I've been in contact with him closely lately. So, see you out there. Have fun, be safe. Please like, comment, subscribe. Share my link anywhere you can on other pages if you could, please. Oh, I went my camera. Okay, late.